I am going 6-0 in the division because the rest of the division sucks.
This is the best division in football, Tori. Take that step back. We are seeing the true quarterback that he really is, which he is not a very good quarterback.
Welcome to the Man Now, where we taking over. It's time to give you them facts. Won't miss a game or two, cause we here for you and we reporting all of them stats. We coming to you live to keep you updated. Broadcast across the country, we the fan favorites. Break the volume to the max and don't nobody touch it. We cross the topics off the list, addressing every subject. So if you ain't got a clue, then you can tune in and give it 24 hours and we back again. Breaking news, new scoops, we the top dogs. From the fields to the courts, we report it all. Buzzer beaters through your speakers, we the ones to call. Trust us for the news if it's got a ball. Giving you the top stories cause we love the turf. Tell a friend to tune in and where you heard it first. Yeah, you're listening to the Man Now. We taking over, it's time to give you them stats. Yeah, you listen to the Man Now. Miss a game or two cause we reporting all of them facts. Yeah, you listen to the Man Now. We taking over, it's time to give you them facts. Turn the speakers up a little loud. Miss a game or two cause we reporting all of them stats. Cause you listen to the Man Hour.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckasher here with the Man Hour. Be sure to head over to manhourradio.com and check out the new forums page and, of course, the merchandise page as well. The BC merch is live over there at manhourradio.com. And plus, the website got a little bit of facelift, as they like to say over there in the biz. But if you guys are new here, consider subscribing to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Man Hour. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, of course, be a part of Man Hour Nation. Now, we do got some special guests here for us lined up for tonight. That's right, special guests, because they've been out and about doing their own things, but the boys are back in town. First of all, let me welcome the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Tori Anderson at Man Hour Store. Tori, what's going on tonight, bud?
I was going to do my ASMR, how to eat Doritos really quietly, but we're not going to do that, instead. So, I'm happy that life's finally starting to slow down and finally starting to get back into a groove. As we said pre-show, this week's kind of sucks for me, but guess what? That's just going to be my life from now on.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it sucks a little bit less, because we are also here with another guy that's been MIA. He's been doing some World Series reaction shows. So there's a poll going here at youtube.com/Man Hour of who is going to win Game 6, Braves or Astros. And that is Mr. Brandon BC Combs himself. Combsy, what is going on, big guy?
Finally, Beastie has come back to the Man Hour. That's my rock impression. Is that right? Yeah.
It was not very good. So I'm not going to lie.
No. All right.
So you are on location. You how have you been liking the live reaction shows?
I mean, it's not really. It's like calling a game without calling a game. It's like calling a game with like somebody who's your best friend. And if you don't stop playing this damn Christmas music, I'm sitting here going through my computer screens looking like, wait, is there a video going on? And then I caught on.
Yeah.
So I am banned from Facebook for 3 days for telling Hoffy that I would fight him.
Which is your friend, which is weird, right?
That. Yeah, I don't know who the hell reported it. We were joking around, but somebody reported it, and then I got banned for 3 days on Facebook. So you guys decided to spam all of my stuff with Christmas stuff, so I appreciate that.
You're very welcome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Christmas is probably the second favorite holiday ever, and it's coming up here in 56 days.
It's Halloween, and then it's Thanksgiving, and then there's the rest of it, and then there's St. Patrick's Day. You know what? I liked Christmas right up until the time I had kids, and then it just became a big ass bill.
True. All right, guys, so we are going to talk a little bit of sports talk here. As you guys see at the bottom left of the screen here, the ticker that we do have coming up, we got Luke G joining us here on his weekly Tuesday segment. Very excited to talk about Luke G and that shellacking that the Detroit Lions took on Sunday versus the Eagles. What was it, 44-3, guys? Absolutely ass whooping that they took. We got Kevo coming up as well. We have some technical difficulties on Monday, so he's going to rejoin us tonight. An hour number 2, but let's get into the news that broke early this morning here, and that is Henry Ruggs. Henry Ruggs has been charged with a DUI and resulting in a death. He is currently at the hospital now, still getting treated for his injuries, but after he is able to get released from the hospital, it is kind of expected that he will be going to jail to like at least get booked and officially charged with his DUI and basically like a involuntary manslaughter of this guy. So Combs, I want to kick it to you first here. You're kind of hearing this like just before the show started because you've been busy with like work. What are your first initial reactions when you heard this news?
I mean, it's sad. I mean, somebody lost their life, and it was taken by somebody who got behind the wheel while intoxicated. Now, DUI could mean alcohol, DUI could mean drugs, but regardless of the situation, you made the conscious decision to use something and then get behind the wheel. And for me, that should be, it'll probably be something like manslaughter or something like that, but that should absolutely be murder. And because it's premeditated. You decided to get behind the wheel. You decided to do those things. And I've always been a big proponent of somebody who drinks and drives. And I'm not saying, look, I mean, people have one or two drinks and can be not even impaired and drive just fine. I'm talking about to the point where you are incoherent and they can tell right when they arrived at the scene that you are either drunk or under the influence. I don't condone it. And for Henry Ruggs, it's sad because it's a real waste of a career. Look, this is the NFL. You always get second chances. Henry Ruggs, should go to jail for this, should do time for this. How much time remains to be seen. We're still waiting for facts to come out. So I'm a reserve judgment before we hear all the facts. But if it holds true, if he was under the influence, if this is a DUI situation, then it's got to be the maximum penalty for me, which would mean that this guy's career is done and it's a waste of a career, a waste of a lot of talent, and it's a shame.
Yeah, so a few things you said, Combs, here. You are waiting for the facts. The facts is his Corvette hit a SUV and caught it on fire and killed the person that was inside. If you saw the pictures, he had
had you been going?
Yeah, he had to been flying to basically do what he did. So there's strike one. Strike two is, I don't care if you had one drink or 15 drinks. He was arrested for impairment. Whether now I'm going to wait till I get to my point on this and we'll let Tori speak on it, but he was arrested for impairment. Fact number 3 was that he has the means, he has the money, he has the capabilities. He lives in a city where he could have easily got a ride. Tori, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, right away my first thought is two things: Uber and Lyft. Way cheaper. There is literally zero reason in this day and age ever to get a DUI outside of selfishness and pride. There is no call for it. I mean, I was young and dumb. I have a DUI, and it's one of those things that absolutely changed my life. I'm lucky I never got into an accident. I got pulled over. I got my ticket. You know what? It changed my world at that point. I don't drink a ton anymore. And if I go out and I have my vehicle and people say, well, you want to have a drink? No, I won't. If I have my vehicle, I will not get behind the wheel if I've had a drink at all. If somebody says, hey, let's go out, I'll be like, all right, I'll meet you there, but I'm taking an Uber. So I Uber at home. Like, right. I there's literally no reason to ever put yourself in that position ever again.
Especially when you make that much money.
Absolutely. Though, like I said, it's at that point, it's pride or selfishness or narcissism that you're just like, I don't want somebody to know where I live or whatever. Yeah. The fact, and like you said, the fact that his Corvette hit a SUV and set it on fire, he smoked that thing. Yeah. He had to be hot rodding and smoked it.
And for me, the conscientious decision to do that is what kills it for me. Is that This wasn't just a dumb decision. This wasn't just a kid being young and dumb and doing something stupid and getting caught. This was a conscious decision to get impaired, to get behind the wheel of your vehicle, and to do excessive speed limits. Because if you crash fast enough, and I've seen some pretty bad accidents, if you crash into something fast enough that you just instantly set it on fire, that's ridiculous. It had to have been maxed out. Had to have been maxed out on the speed in that Corvette.
Yeah, so I am. This really just what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, it pisses me off. Not because of the fact that he is a NFL superstar, or the fact that he has a means to get an Uber, or the fact that he has the means of driving a Corvette. It is the means of, like, for one, he took a life that was innocent, right? There was no means, no way around it. He killed a person. And for people to be defending him, because, like, I've heard reports of this person that they killed was a illegal alien in the country, and so therefore he will probably get off scotch-free of this. If that happens, that's an absolute crime in itself. Yeah. Number two was, like, they are defending him because he is an athlete. He is a young black man. He doesn't know any better. How do you not know any better? Like, it is the freaking law. Like, you don't drink and drive. I mean, and then on top of all that, the fact that when you look at those pictures, it screams literally like a Grand Theft Auto high-speed chase. You know, there are no wheels on the cars. Like, you don't being guys. He hit this SUV looked like a low rider car. Like, it was literally probably only 3 feet off the ground. Like
there
that's
is
how.
There is no front end left to this Corvette.
Yeah,
none. I don't think it was an SUV. It looks like a Prius he hit.
How did Rugg survive?
I don't know, because this car.
It was because he was drunk, probably.
Yeah, you know, that's the worst thing for me too, and I say it all the time, is that these people, these drunk drivers who kill other people, and sometimes it's families. I mean, like, I remember one a couple years back in Massachusetts, an entire 6 people in an entire family in a van got killed by a drunk driver, and the drunk driver survived. And it's almost like it's always the freaking drunk driver that survives. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's sad.
Well, it just, so people that are defending Ruggs, absolutely stop. He doesn't not need to be defended like at all. And Shep here, he is a new subscriber to our YouTube channel. He says, can we talk about the possibilities that he came from the clubs? He was seen at Top Golf, which closes at midnight. So, I mean, think I'm right here, but wasn't the accident reported like at 3:29 in the morning? So what is Ruggs leaving at Top Golf at midnight have to do with anything of the accident? Like, are you saying he went to like an after party like afterwards? Like, so Chip, like where are you trying to go with that? So do you guys think of any possibility of him being seen at Top Golf at, you know?
I mean, the thing is that that's irrelevant at this point, though. He killed somebody because of whatever he was impaired with. That is the main point of it. I don't care where he was. I really don't. Yeah. It's the main point that he took a life willingly because he chose to drive while he was impaired.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, he's a millionaire athlete, and so whether, you know, he left Top Golf at midnight, did he go to a house party? Did he go to his girlfriend's house? Did he go anywhere? Did he go to the club? Did he go wherever he went? He chose to go out, have some more fun, and then get behind the wheel and do what he did. And, you know, we talk about it because it's sports, and that's what we do, and this affects the sports world. But this is something that to be honest with you, just, I mean, the fact that we have to talk about it and give this the attention is what it's not the fun part of doing this, for sure, because something like this doesn't deserve the attention. I hope the guy gets what he deserves, and quite frankly, I mean, he deserves to spend a lot of time in jail.
So let's quickly go around the table here. So the fines in the state of Nevada for what he did is a Class B felony, which basically adds up 2 to 20 years in the federal prison. Combs, how many years do you think he should get?
All of them, 20.
20.
I mean, I'm a big, and I've said this before with the NFL. When it comes to penalties, like blatant penalties, personal fouls, where you hit a guy late and it causes an injury, I've always been a big proponent of you don't get back into the game until that person that you injured gets back into the game. And in this case, that person that he injured is never coming back. So to be honest with you, I don't think he should ever come back. It's mistake or not. I mean, you made the conscious decision to essentially pull the trigger, and that's what you did. And so for me, it's murder. It's premeditated murder.
Tori.
Yeah, and there again, I'm going to go back to my former life as when I was a correctional officer. And again, I live in a state that's pretty much known for its drinking habits. Like here, like if you get into an accident while you've been drinking and you kill somebody, it's on average, it's about 10 years that you get. And we have truth in sentencing here. So if the judge says you're doing 10 years, you're doing 10 years. There's no parole or anything here anymore. So I think honestly, if I'm just going off of like what I've seen from other people that have been convicted, I'm going to say he gets 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with both you guys. He should get 10 plus years, but let's be honest, he'll probably get 6 months in a county jail with probation and a slap on the wrist, just because of who he is. I mean, that's basically what it comes down to in the end, which sucks for the people that lost their. I mean, I'm assuming it's a guy. Let's say they lost their dad, their husband, son. You know, somebody lost their life, and unfortunately, it can't be taken back. But now, guys, let's go ahead and shift gears here a little bit.
Did you say shit gears?
Shift gears. I would love to shit right now, dude. I am so constipated. Like, it is ridiculous.
Oh my god.
But man, like, I had some sushi and it just been nothing but like raunchy tuna farts.
You got to go get that gas station sushi. That'll clear you out quick.
With a gas station egg salad sandwich.
All right, let's go ahead and turn back right here, like a little bit here on the Man Hour. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, guys, we're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they dropped another regular season to the Saints. So first things first here. I mean, the Saints lost Winston, with a season-ending tackle that shouldn't have happened. So I'm going to kick it to Brandon Combs first because Winston is your guy. He is your boy. But are the Bucs overrated, or are we sleeping on the Saints?
No, the Bucs aren't overrated. This was a divisional game. Divisional games, it doesn't matter what the other team's record is. Doesn't matter what your record is. They almost always at least split. It's very rare that you see a team sweep a divisional series. No, the Bucs aren't overrated. No, the Bucs aren't what they're, supposed to. I mean, there is a Buck that is overrated, but it's not the Tampa Bay Bucs. But the Bucs aren't overrated. They and the Saints, look, I watched that play over and over, and when he went out, I was like, damn, that shoulder looks bad because he got slammed right on his shoulder. I wasn't even thinking knee or ACL or anything like that, and so I don't even know how the hell he tore an ACL on that play, but
watch it back. His knee was bad, man. Like it got stuck. Yeah, so his knee went to the right, his body went to the left, and it twisted. Like it screamed ACL as soon as you saw it.
So it's heartbreaking for Jameis Winston. It's heartbreaking for fans of Jameis Winston. We were watching the kid thrive. He was playing very well against a very good Bucs defense. And they're 5-2 now, and so the Saints are probably, even without Jameis Winston, even if Taysom Hill is still in concussion protocol this week, Trevor Siemian showed that he can play some football, and whether it was the old adage like they did with the Jets, where you're talking about this kid that came up and ends up beating the Carolina Panthers, or not the who did the Jets beat? The Bengals. Comes up and beats the Bengals is because you got a quarterback who has no tape, no nothing, and all of a sudden you find yourself facing him. Same thing here with Trevor Siemian coming in. While there is still a little bit of tape on Trevor Siemian, you weren't game planning for Trevor Siemian. You were game planning for Jameis Winston. And so they were able to do their thing. They were able to play around with them and win this game. I still see the Saints as a 9-win team. I thought they were a 12-win team with Jameis Winston, but I still see them as a 9-win team without him, considering the fact that they're 5-2. That just means that they're, 4-10 the rest of the way. Or I'm sorry, 4 and what are they? 5-2, so they'd be 4 and
6.
4 and 6 the rest of the way. So below 500 team.
Look at us mathing.
So, Tori, let me ask you this question here. Combs kind of waffled around that answer a little bit. We'll let it slide. He hasn't been here for a few weeks. You waffled around the answer. Winston still sucks.
Oh my God! Stop
Tori,
it.
why can't the Bucks beat the Saints
Detroit
in the
Lions.
regular season?
2 words: Sean Payton. And there again, I'm going to agree with BC on that. They're divisional opponents. And Luke can attest to this when he comes on too. The Lions, I don't care how bad the Lions are, they will give the Packers, the Vikings, and the Bears all a run for their money. It does not matter. You see each other 2 years or twice a year. There's familiarity. Not to mention, there again, Peyton's one of the best coaches in the entire league. So, you give him tape and time, and he's going to come up with a good game plan. So, am I worried about it? Do I think the Bucks are overrated? No. The Bucks got stomped by them 38-3 last year. They won the Super Bowl.
True.
So
True.
It's not everybody can have a bad week. Nobody's going to be, perfect except for, the 18-1. Oh, wait, that's right. They went 18-1.
Combs, do you have a reason why the Bucks cannot beat the Saints in the regular season? Is it because they didn't have Gronk at a healthy percent?
No, that's
answer
a
here.
huge part of it, but it's just one of those things. The Saints just seem to have their number in the regular season, and that's not to say that the Bucks are overrated, though. It's a divisional opponent. It's a divisional game. That's the answer to that.
That is the answer, and he's sticking to it here. So, if you guys are new here to the Man Hour, Mr. Combs and Tori, both on the Twitter machine at manhour_Combs and manhour_Tori, they had a friendly wager of, I believe, was Winston had to win 8 games, right? And you guys were doing the last dab challenge. Is that correct?
Yep. He had to be over 500.
Yeah. So technically, Winston is over 500 on the season, right? But he had to play 8 games. It was that the de facto measurement there?
Yes.
Yeah.
He had the season.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm willing to keep the bet going though. Like, I'm willing to still say they're going to be over 500. Tori, they've already matched your win total that you thought they were going to be at, which was 5.
I mean, I'm good. I'm good with that after this week. I want to see if they sign Dave Gummit, Phillip Rivers, because if they sign him, that's kind of a game changer.
So just to cut you guys off real quick, World Series, I got the game on here. Max Fried goes to cover first base on a Brantley ground ball, goes to touch the bag, and as he does, Brantley steps right on his ankle and bends his ankle back the other way. Never touches the bag, so Brantley's going to be called out. But that's if Fried can't continue there, that's a huge blow for the Braves.
Yeah, that seems a premeditated. I'm going to take your pitcher out because he's going to whoop her ass. Let's just be flat honest here. But guys, we are
and
up.
It's the Astros. They know how to cheat.
Exactly. So guys, we are up against the first break here of the night. If you guys would be most inclined here, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button as well. We do have the infamous Luke G come up here next to talk about whatever Luke G wants on his weekly Tuesday segment. Every Tuesday here at 8:30 East Coast time
talk about the Lions?
On the Man Hours. We can talk about
Being
whatever
better
Luke G wants. That is Luke G's
like you thought I was
segment.
going to be.
It's Luke G segment. So guys,
0-8.
we will be right back here on the Man Hour after this short little break.
The guy's got hands.
He does have
The guy's
hands.
got really good hands. And if he develops a chemistry with you, that's going to make, what's his name, Marquez Callaway, that's going to make him even more dangerous.
True. I see what you're saying, but Besides the big catch and a couple okay seasons in New York, what has Odell Beckham Jr. really done for you? He is the most overrated receiver in the NFL that I've ever seen.
I don't disagree. I think he's overrated as well. But I just say, look, he's a big target. He's got hands. The guy can stay with, anybody's I just, I don't know. It's something. It's better than what we got. I mean, OBJ is better than Chris Hill, right? But the guy's got hands.
He does
the
have
guy's
hands.
got really good hands. And if he develops a chemistry,
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes along with Brandon Combs and Tori Anderson. And as promised, guys, we got the infamous Luke G with us tonight. If I could find the thing. There it is. There's Mr. Luke G as he comes up onto the screen here. Luke, how's it going tonight, bud?
Man, I'm feeling good. I'm excited. I'm feeling like talking some good ball and bringing some perspective to football in general.
What does a Lions fan know about good ball?
Wow, we really gonna start
Shots
there.
already fired.
I know.
0-8.
I know.
0-8.
You know what's funny? The Lions are going to be at home come to playoff, and so are the Bears. So I guess we're on the same road to the same location. You just took different directions.
Hey, as long as we whoop that ass one more time on Thanksgiving, I'm good with it.
I probably won't happen, but you know what? We're praying for it, right?
All right, so before we get into too much of this battle going back and forth with I feel like we're having like an NFC North show right here with the Lions, Packers, and Bears guy here. But Luke G, tell us what your show is all about.
Well, today we're going to be talking about the value of the running back. It's time, people. It's time to put more value on the running backs in the run game. As I sit back and I look at each particular week that's going on over and over and over, I've come to a conclusion that good teams know how to run the ball. It's even more apparent as I watch the Detroit Lions get the blood spit beat out of them from a team who refused to pass the ball. And I look at teams like Kansas City who don't know that they can run the ball or just flat out refuse to or can't. Either way, they're not valuing their run game. And it continues to happen over and over and over again where you see these teams who refuse to run the ball. In fact, if you look at most statistical facts as it pertains to these later months going towards the playoffs, the good teams tend to run more and pass a slightly bit less. But the bad teams seem to find themselves in a one-dimensional vortex of mediocrity and throwing the ball consistently over and over, knowing that they have a weakness in their offensive line, similar to a team like the Chicago Bears, who have a good running back, but insist on trying to make their rookie quarterback behind a horrible offensive line look like the second coming
What
of
if their
Peyton
running
Manning.
backs are hurt?
Does not
We
matter.
got one on IR. Damian Williams
Doesn't matter.
is
You
missed week
still
because
have
of
to run the
COVID.
ball. You have to run it.
Khalil Herbert got murdered in the second quarter and was not the same running back after that.
Still got to run the ball. You have to run the ball.
They
In
are
this
running the
league,
ball with Justin Fields.
and that's why he got all broken up the way he did, because you cannot keep this up. It's not sustainable, as Robert Griffin III. Okay, it's not sustainable, and you have to be able to run the ball.
Why you got to ask Robert Griffin III? Let's ask a boy over there in Baltimore. How's it going?
We can ask him because he hasn't won anything without a rushing attack.
He's won an MVP.
Let's talk.
And he is the rushing attack.
And that's why they were struggling that year. But that's beyond the point. The facts are this: that the good teams, not the bad ones, the good teams understand what a run threat does. I'll give you a perfect example, right? Perfect example. I'm not saying that you got to have a running back who's rushing for 2,000 yards like the Tennessee Titans, right? But they understood something. If Derrick Henry is out, I need a running back with a similar style to run. And they bring in Adrian Peterson. Fingers crossed, if he can produce anything close to what he's done, even with the Lions, he would be 76. A good asset. Was totally not expecting that. Totally not. 76? God.
In running back years?
But let's be honest, though. Let's be honest for a moment, Combs. If you look at most of the teams, go back to any year, playoffs all the way out to, say, pretty much now, you will notice that the best teams run the ball. You had a team going to as a wild card in the Giants who upset a undefeated New England Patriots team because they can run the ball and play defense. But it started with the ability to run the ball. At some point, the NFL has gotten to a point.
Some of your best teams in the NFL right now, though, Luke G, are passing teams. You got the Los Angeles Rams. You've got the Arizona Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the Kansas City Chiefs, which I know right now they're 3-4, but I mean that's a team that's gone to 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years.
Don't really care about the 2 Super Bowls they've been to, because we all know something that in both the Super Bowls their quarterback played bad, and they were fortunate in one Super Bowl to get the win, and the other one, well, we just gonna leave that one alone, right?
They also had a running game,
and they had a run game on that second one to get there. So you have to look at it and just say to yourself, why are we consistently undervaluing the running back and the run game? Everybody wants to talk about passing because of fantasy football, but the reality is the run game is where you win games at. It's where champions are made. Nobody is sitting up there saying Tennessee is winning because of Ryan Tannehill. It's about Derrick Henry. And when you go through and you look at the Saints were smart enough to go and bring Ingram back because they knew that they needed a change of pace back to continue that, to say what? Keep their quarterback safe. Hell, they just beat a Buccaneers team with a backup named Trevor Siemian. Nobody is going to mistake Trevor Siemian for Peyton Manning. The run game sets the pace and it sets the tone for things to come. And those who deny it are in denial because it's not sexy. It's not the flashy thing. It's not great. Fantasy looks awesome, but it's not as good as the ball been in the air. And the reality is, at some point, we have to start to put the value back into the running back position and undervalue the quarterback position. It's too dependent.
Well, Luke, don't underestimate, especially when you come on the man hour, the fact that somebody won't think that Trevor Siemian might be as good as Peyton Manning, because Buck has some crazy ass shit that comes out of his mouth, man.
You never know what Buck might say at that point.
I mean,
he's the same guy who picked the Lions to be 10-6 this or 10-7 this year.
Right.
I'll tell you what.
Still a chance.
The Lions,
the
Lions themselves, literally got to a point where they have the ability to run and they refuse to. In fact, we are 8 weeks in and no running back has had over 14 carries. This is not something I made up. This is facts. They have literally never broken 14 carries. No singular running back.
And that's crazy because they've been in some really tight games.
Exactly. So it makes you wonder why are they not running the ball more, and why are they not valuing the run more? And so when you see that, you got to do the same thing that they did on the Rams when they had that chance to go to the Super Bowl. Don't necessarily put it all on Goff, but run the ball and allow people to fear the run so Goff can, do his thing.
Then why aren't the
But-
Browns better than they are?
But in this day and age, though, of almost everybody runs some kind of version of the West Coast offense. Swing passes are basically still running plays. It just counts as a reception instead.
Yeah, but it's trash. And I'll tell you why. When I watched the Lions get beat down, everybody was like, they gave up. I said, no, they got beat up. It's a difference. When you get ran on like that, that's a total domination. I got in front of you and I moved you out the way every single snap. And that's bad. But in the case of a team like the Browns, they continue to rely on Baker Mayfield. And even when they're running the ball heavy, you see these games where they'll still come back at an unnatural point and decide, well, we're going to throw here. For what? They can't stop you from running. You got two good running backs. Run it again. And the problem is the commitment to the run has been a fail. It's been a fail by the coaches because they know fans are going to say this is boring. But if you go back to old school football and work your way up, the best teams always ran it. It's one of the reasons why we love Jim Brown. One of the reasons why we love Gale Sayers, why we love Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, Walter Payton, and all these other great running backs, because running is what teams do to win games. And then they play defense. This is just the facts. This is not something I'm making up. It's reality. Go and look at the games, and you will see that this is happening.
All right, Luke. So usually, Luke, you and me see eye to eye. We have common sense, and we see the game unlike these Packers and Bears fans like over here. We understand the game of football, but here, I am totally against you on this point. Yes, defense wins championships, but right now, we live in an NFL world where passing the ball is not only sexy, and I know what sexy is because look at me, right? I have a face made for radio, and I am just the sexiest man here on the show, hands down, aka Mike LeBlanc, right, guys? Man, I look so sexy here. My bad.
You are looking really nice right now.
But with that being said, when you say when did the running backs get devalued? It was when they started doing a two running back system. When Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb were on the same team. When Zeke and Tony Pollard were on the same team. When AP and Swift were on the same team. When they started doing the 1-2 punch, and when running backs became a disposable commodity, we're going to sign you to a rookie 5-year deal, eat you up and spit you out. That's when running backs become obsolete. Right now, it is all about the passing game because running backs are a dime a dozen right now. We are seeing it right now. I want to put a staple on it right here. I bet you we do not see Derrick Henry rush for 1,200 yards again for the rest of his career after this foot injury. Why? Because running backs are a dime a dozen. Their shelf life is 4 years, and that's why. Because they are devalued because they aren't very valuable on an NFL team.
They're beyond value. And the problem is we too often miss it. I mean, if you go back and you look at the history, Super Bowls and all, and work your way back, you'll find that those teams who were able to run the ball, stay committed to the run, had more success and usually had better and more often winning records because they were able to run the ball. Those teams who struggle to run the ball suffered because once you become one-dimensional, it's easy to defend that. What's not easy to defend is a rushing attack that makes it a problem. It's one of the reasons why when you look at Russell Wilson, he has not done zilch, nothing since the loss of Marshawn Lynch because nobody is worried about the rushing attack. I simply need to stop the pass. And it's something that I have noticed over the years. Even though they went to a two-back system, it does not stop the fact that you need to run the ball. They just don't seem to understand the importance of it and undervalue it at every single level. To me, when I watch these games, and you'll start to see it too as we hit in the November months, watch the teams who are winning and what they're doing. You're going to see them really commit to running the ball. And when we get to the playoffs, well, you're going to really see them run the ball.
No, you're going to see teams doing short, intermediate passing games. That is their running game.
Can we stop saying defense wins championships, please? Because that is such a outdated statement. Did the defense of the New England Patriots come back down from 28-3? Did the defenses show up the following year when the final score of that Super Bowl was something like 41-33?
I've never seen a 41-33 score.
What are you talking about? Philadelphia Eagles New England Patriots Super Bowl. That was a 41-33 game, I believe.
Okay,
it was something in that realm.
One time. Tori, take the floor.
So No,
God.
so like this is
Bears
Go back to
fans.
coaching high school,
This-
Buck.
so
I got a ring.
I don't think this is as much
Because
as
you're
an
married.
undervalued or that running backs are undervalued. I think the game has become so specialized that you have a running back that's a power back, you have a speed back, you have a receiving back. And the other part that factors into it is that the passing game, quarterbacks are a lot smarter now, and they're not as freewheeling as they were in the past.
Oh,
A 60
really?
A 68 to 70% completion percentage is a lot more common today than it was 5 to 10 years ago.
When did quarterbacks get so smart? When did that happen? Really? I gotta watch Jared
When Tom
Goff.
Brady was born.
I gotta watch Jared Goff. I gotta watch Jalen Fields, and I know he's a rookie. I'm not trying to kill him for being a rookie, but I've seen him make some decisions that was nothing to do with the
But
offensive
that's
line
being a
and
rookie.
stuff.
That's also being a rookie.
Yeah, but they
Luke,
so smart
have
these
you
days.
ever taken into account that's because you keep watching Lions football? Matt Stafford wasted his entire career in Detroit, and now he's in Los Angeles, and now he's lighting it up because he's actually got a team around him.
Well, let's be honest about this. This is another one of the misrepresentations that's put out there by the media, and the people who want to buy into it. Let's be honest. If you look at the receiving core, this whole idea of talent, nobody's going to tell me that the receiving core of the Rams is better than the receiving core that he's had in Detroit. The difference is they are at least willing to be a little bit more creative. But you're not going to tell
He's
me
never
the Rams,
had more than one wide receiver at a time in Detroit, and he's got a plethora of wide
that is a
receivers in LA.
false. That is false. He's had Golden Tate. He's had Calvin Johnson. He's had Calvin Johnson with Nate Burleson. He's had Calvin Johnson with Anquan Bolden as a slot receiver and still had Golden Tate. He's had people like Titus Young, who before he lost his damn mind, who was balling out with Calvin Johnson. He's had Roy Williams.
So what
and
you
still-
did was just name a bunch of guys with Calvin Johnson who don't start on any other team.
Well, that's not true because they all did. Golden Tate went on to start for the Giants. He also started on the Seattle Seahawks. Nate Burleson started for the Seattle
Vikings.
Seahawks, and he started for the Vikings. So we can kill all that right there. And I can even go a step further. Anquan Bolden, you gonna tell me he ain't started nobody's team?
He was the number one in Arizona.
I just want to ask the question.
Anquan
So
was
Bolden
100 he
still
was
a number
100
one in
He was
Baltimore.
121 when he went to Detroit.
the only
So
reason,
AP 76 and Anquan Bolden's 120.
I mean, he's just killing me with the ages. But the only reason that you're seeing a lot of these differences with these quarterbacks, especially with a guy like Matthew Stafford, was he not only did he not have a run game, he never had nobody he can throw it too short consistently like a TJ Hawkinson, and he never had an offensive line. But when you look at these teams, I'm telling you, if you go back and just go back to the old games from last year, start from the Super Bowl and work your way back, which is what I did. I started from the Super Bowl and I worked my way back, and you would be surprised at what you see. Because what I discovered is the same thing I've noticed over the last 20 years. We talk all that pass game stuff, but the team who runs the ball seems to be the one who gets the win more often. And it's important because guess what? When you're able to run the ball, it makes things so much more simpler for you.
Any
Just put
thoughts
it
on
out
that,
there.
guys? Tori.
No, I think he watches a lot of Lions football. That's all.
I mean, listen, you a Bears fan. You got a quarterback who from Ohio State, when Ohio State has never produced a good quarterback, and you're betting your entire franchise on that move.
People say that all the time. People, Luke G, I'm going to invite you to tell me the same thing. Name me quarterback university. Who is producing so many quarterbacks that it's unbelievable.
USC.
Because I'm going to tell you right,
Miami.
stop it. Name me a good USC quarterback other that's not named Carson Palmer.
Well, let's
All right,
let's take
yeah,
let's-
exactly, Buck.
Jimmy
No,
G.
no, hold on,
Calvin.
wait. Let's take it a step further. See, you want to talk about quarterback you. We don't need to talk about
I'm
quarterback
saying,
you.
I'm
No,
saying
wait.
that not one university.
Wait,
Just because
wait.
he went to Ohio State doesn't mean he can't be a good quarterback because he went to
No,
Ohio State.
no. But that's exactly what it means. Because when
No,
you
it
look at
doesn't.
those type of
Stop it.
programs, those programs are often. That's why they got caught in the scandal. They was cheating in the first place.
Let me ask you
You
a question.
can't cheat in the NFL.
Where did Tom Brady go to school?
Michigan.
Michigan,
All right, was he a starter at Michigan?
nah.
Yeah, he was a
No.
part-time starter his senior year, and his junior year
Yeah,
he did
yeah,
like he
a
He
did.
got a
part-time starter.
he got a few
Yeah.
starts, but he was not the starter.
Who couldn't sniff it, but then now he's the greatest quarterback of all time, right?
But you know why,
then,
though, right?
then you look at
why, though, right?
Let's look more currently. Let's go with let's name some good ones now. Let's go with
How about
let's go
Oklahoma?
with Bucks boy. Let's go with Bucks boy over there. Patrick Mahomes. Where did Patrick Mahomes go to school?
Texas
Texas
Tech.
Tech.
All right, how many great quarterbacks have come out of Texas Tech? Name me another one other than Patrick Mahomes.
Hey, Combs, you know the
So there had never been a
Cliff-
quarterback out of
Cliff
Texas Tech
Kingsbury.
until Patrick Mahomes did.
Hold on. You know the problem with your whole
You never
argument.
watched Cliff Kingsbury there.
You know the problem with your whole argument, Combs. Here's the problem with your whole argument.
It's wrong.
You're naming
It
all
defeats
these.
your narrative.
No. The problem with your argument is you're naming all of these other quarterbacks who went to teams who were already made with good coaches. Are you implying that Matt Nagy's a good head coach? I'll wait.
I'm implying that Bill
All right,
Belichick.
let's start.
Bill
No, wait,
Belichick had gotten fired from the
hold on,
Jets and the
wait.
Browns
Hashtag
before
waffle.
he ran into Tom Brady.
Waffle it.
That's what I'm telling you.
Hold on, Combs. Next question, Combs. Let's answer the next question. Combs, can you name me the last good quarterback to come out of Ohio State? I'll wait.
Dwayne Haskins.
I already asked you to name me a good
Kirk
quarterback that came out of
Herbstreit.
Texas Tech, and you couldn't do it. Oh, but
Now
but you
again,
went into a good
hold on,
situation.
hold on. Wait a minute.
He didn't
wait a
say
minute.
Texas Tech was quarterback you though.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Graham
Now, again, I asked the question.
Graham Harrell.
Wait a minute. I asked a question, and you answered the question with a question. And in most conversations or debates, that usually is a sign of defeat. Let's go back to the question,
That's
though.
not a sign of defeat. I asked you a
Name me
question first,
the
but that's all right.
last
We'll
good
look over
quarterback.
that.
Name me the last good quarterback to come out of Ohio State. I'll wait.
There hasn't been a great quarterback to come out
And
of
now
Ohio
it's going to
State.
happen with a team who does not have an offensive line, a team who does not have a head coach, a team who does not know that they got a good running back.
Dude,
It's
you're acting
magically
like
going to
I'm
happen.
saying that Justin Fields is the savior of the Bears. I picked the Bears
I'm
even with
acting-
Justin Fields to be 7-10 this year.
I'm acting like Justin Fields is not your answer, and that's
They're
the way
on
to put
page.
draft
No,
pick.
he's not the only answer. They've got a lot of things to do, but he is going to be the answer as the quarterback for the next 10
Matt
to 15
Nagy gonna
years.
get fired. New head coach gonna come in. New
Yep.
quarterback gonna come in, and then you're gonna see
Yep.
Fields somewhere else. It's just gonna be that way. It just
Okay.
get
So you're
used to
saying
it.
it's going to be a Dwayne Haskins situation where
Yep, he's not. He's not gonna,
Ron Rivera inherited Dwayne Haskins and
You know,
I
just
don't
like
think
I
it's gonna be
knew,
that.
dude, Luke.
they're gonna hire a
sometimes-
coach around Fields.
Sometimes you bring in quarterbacks and they don't work out because
Mhm.
we bring in you just had a whole career of Matt Stafford and never really did anything with them, and now he's probably going to go to a Super Bowl with the Los Angeles Rams or maybe even win one.
Not because of
Then
him though.
Just and the same thing with the Bears. The Bears have had some good quarterbacks that they've just ruined. I mean, you look at a guy like Jay
Yeah,
Cutler.
but
Jay
we-
Cutler
but
in
we're not
any other
talking about
organization probably
ruining.
wins the Super Bowl. That's just what happens. Like sometimes you get that. But Justin Fields is an extremely smart quarterback. Justin
The hell
Fields is
he
an
is.
extreme.
Are you serious? Do I need to go and put the tape on so you can see it for yourself again?
We can watch the tape all you want, Luke.
I
He
mean-
does good things. He does smart things. Has he made some rookie mistakes?
He
Sure.
does a lot of good things. You know, like he
The
runs,
play calling kills
and then
him.
he runs some more.
Dude,
He ran a
that
little
running
bit further.
touchdown this weekend was amazing.
That was
Was
an amazing
amazing.
run.
It was a great
Beautiful
athletic
run.
play.
Very good run. Nobody's confusing Justin Fields at this dominating passer.
Go back to watching your 0-8 Lions, and,
Oh,
and we'll talk about.
hang
Because
on.
remember when I said they were 2-15, and you laughed at me? 2-15. What are you talking about? This team is so much better. We got a new coach. We got a
there
new
it
defensive
is.
Hey.
coordinator. We got the.
There it
Go back to
is.
watching your 0-8 Lions.
Combs, 1 second here. Luke G put his argument up on a platter for you, and you totally looked over it. So Luke G said that
talking about?
Luke G said that we are undervaluing the running back in the NFL right now. And he just said Justin Fields ran the ball great on Sunday. So you have to come back and say, yes, we are undervaluing the running quarterback as well because he is a savior of our NFL team.
Well, he was too busy caught up in trying to make up an excuse
He's a
for why
quarterback.
Ohio State quarterbacks don't do anything.
I'm
in the
not. I don't
NFL.
need to make up an excuse for an Ohio State quarterback. I've already told you. You go to where did Dak Prescott come out of? Where did
Terrell Pryor's the last good quarterback to come out of Ohio State, and he played wide receiver.
What a great receiver.
you look at some of the best quarterbacks in the league and look at where they come from college and then tell me where the last great quarterback that came from them was. It doesn't happen until it happens, Luke. There's no place where people
If
are
I'm a
going
bet-
to this,
if I'm
to
a
look at
betting man-
universities and look at programs and saying, "Oh, you came out of that program,
But-
I'm coming to get you."
Oklahoma.
It's not
BC though,
happening.
we've done it on this show though. We've talked about how Alabama quarterbacks just don't translate to the NFL.
I mean,
we
yeah,
talk
right.
about how Alabama running backs sometimes take quite a bit of time to develop in the NFL. Like we've done this. Like we've talked about this on this show though.
And that has been some of your arguments, Combs, too.
Every time. No, I've said the same thing every time. You can't talk about, this quarterback from this university isn't going to be good just because he came from that university. You have to look at the player. You have to look at the talent. You have to look at the skill. You have to look at the tape. You have to look at what they're doing on
I'm not saying
every
that.
time
What
basis.
I'm saying is
that touchdown pass, that first touchdown pass that Justin Fields had this weekend to the tight end was a perfectly thrown ball on a dime in a spot where he was completely covered, but the ball was thrown in a spot where only his tight end could catch the ball.
A broke clock's
perfectly
right
thrown
twice a
pass.
day.
But people don't want to talk about that. They want
Yeah,
to,
but
he's
you
not
know
gonna-
what?
he's
You
not
know
gonna
what,
be
though?
good. He's Justin Fields.
But
He
you
came
know
from
what,
Ohio
though?
State. He can't be good.
The thing that you're missing, Combs, is not that he's just a kid from Ohio State. He happens to get picked up into a situation that does not favor his skill set. Does not favor. You don't have an offensive line. Your head coach is probably going to get fired. A new head coach is going to come in, and that probably means they're probably going to do something different.
On all of
Justin
that, Luke.
Fields-
This is not a good team. I picked this team to be 7-10. They're not a good team.
Yeah, but that's not my point. It's not about them being a good team. It's about the fact that you're trying to downplay the importance of a running back, and you guys have David Montgomery, who I think
I'm
y'all
not
should have
downplaying the
y'all
importance
should
of that.
y'all should have worked him like a damn horse and got some things going.
I don't disagree with you. That was my whole take on the Bears before the season started, was we need to lean on David Montgomery. David Montgomery has been an undervalued back for years and years. The guy is a 1,000+ yard back every single year. That is the guy, and that's the guy they can use. I'm not saying that they don't need that. What they need a new head coach, they need a new GM, they need a new front office, they need a new damn ownership group.
And they need a new quarterback as well. They need Josh Rosen.
Shut up.
That's right. Give him Josh Rosen.
Yeah, give him Josh Rosen. They need a new quarterback. Yeah, because I'm going to listen to Buck, because all of your takes on the football season have been great this year.
I really think they should go and get
you.
like Kellen Moore out of
Appreciate that.
retirement. He's tired of calling plays in Dallas. I mean, we're just gonna. It's just the reality of it. When you look at these teams and you go through and you look at each team's problem situation, they have to come into a perfect storm. If Patrick Mahomes go anywhere else besides Kansas City, we're not talking about Patrick Mahomes.
He's probably trash. He's probably trash.
Yeah, we're not talking about. He came into a team that was fully ready, a team that won 11 games with Alex Smith. He had nothing to worry about. Just go out there and throw the ball.
I agree.
So you have to look at that same thing.
Andy Reid's got a little bit to do with that as well.
Look at the situation
knocking
Deshaun Watson came in. Deshaun Watson has been a top 5 quarterback in this league since he came in, even on a losing team. He's putting up numbers. But on a 3-win team, the guy's putting up MVP numbers.
He did.
Jeez, there we go.
He did. But
what are you denying that?
No, he definitely put up an MVP
mind?
season. This
is the same guy who calls Lamar Jackson trash. This is the same guy who said the Lions are going to be 10-6, but the Arizona Cardinals were going to be a 5-win team. Get out of here.
9.
Go to break.
Okay.
You don't call the shots. We call the shots.
With that being said, guys, it is time for break. Luke, as always, thank you for joining us, man. Tell us where people can find your podcast.
Hey, check me out on Luke G's Field Review. Check me out on at Phil G's on Twitter. And I believe it's at Luke G's Field Review on Instagram as well. And we can just talk ball, man. It ain't got to just be Lions. You can just talk ball, watch film, or, hit me up.
All right, guys. As always, Luke, thank you for joining us, guys. We'll definitely catch you next
I picked
week.
the Lions this weekend to win. They really let me down. I really thought they were going to beat the Eagles.
Wow, go ahead and stroke that ego, Combs. We'll be back.
I picked them.
That shows must-see TV.
Yeah, look, the Bengals are going to be good. Joe Burrow is going to be must-watch.
Hey, 100%. 100%.
Hey, man, let's see always fun.
Games. I would circle that Week 5 game against the Green Bay Packers.
Listen, I need any and everybody on it. I don't really care who come on at this point. I can't deal with my fan base, man. They're killing me softly. They fired Dan Campbell. They want to burn it all down.
He said Tori's come on the show. He's like, I don't care who come on. Just give me somebody.
I don't listen. I will. I love it when everybody comes on.
Against New York
his fans love me.
That's another one.
They do. And listen, whenever I bring guests on, they love it anyway. But we have such a strange fan base, man,
Zach Wilson,
where they believe everything is scorched to earth. And I'm like, half of y'all said we weren't going to be good. No way. What are you mad about? They met your expectations.
They love to Buck right up to the point that they think he beats them.
Really fun game to watch.
But you know what's funny though? You know what's funny? If you go back before all the injuries started mounting up, you go back.
So the game that I have circled, the biggest game of the season, is a division game, unfortunately, but is that Week 7 game is when the Bengals go into Baltimore and play Lamar Jackson.
That 49er game pissed me off so bad because I went to that game.
I think this is a statement game for Cincinnati. They are going to go into Baltimore, and they are going to beat them. Let's say 17-14 as the final score to that game. I think this is where we see Joe Burrow kind of put the staple on the whole NFL. Like, hey, don't overlook me. Yeah, you have Herbert. Yeah, you have Trevor and Zach and like all those.
He will fold under pressure. So
Baker and Patty, don't overlook me. I am here to stay. I am here to rock this division and rock the AFC as a whole. And with that being said, I do have them going 7-10 this year, but simply because they do kind of have a stunner of a schedule. They obviously do play the Ravens twice. They play the Steelers twice. Obviously, but the out of division games is rough. They play the Chiefs, they play the Chargers, they play the 49ers, the Ravens. Heck, they even play a good Green Bay team. So, I mean, that is the only reason why I have them 10 losses on the year, but I do have them going 7-10.
Yeah, I have them at 8-9. I have them right around there. And I see the comments coming through. Nobody believes in this team. Drew doesn't believe in this team. Supras doesn't believe in this team. Supras says it's because they did nothing to improve their old line, so that's they're going to continue to see. Look, I like Spain, Trey Hopkins. These guys are focused on and I think they're going to get good play out of them. There's been a lot of injuries in Cincinnati, and not only Joe Burrow, Quentin Spain was hurt last year. Jonah Williams.
This year that is must-see TV.
Yeah, look, the big.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes along with Tori Anderson and the Brandon Combs tonight. Beastie merch is available over at manhourradio.com. Be sure to use that at checkout. Use promo code Beastie at checkout. Save you guys some dollar bills, y'all. And speaking of dollar bills, we have the man that was supposed to be here yesterday. Well, he was here yesterday, but I ran into some technical difficulties. The real Kevo himself with the real bottom line. Kev, tell the people all about your show before we get too carried away. I pushed the wrong button. My bad. There you go. There you
go. The Bottom Line Podcast with your boy, me here, Kevo. We're talking about sports, but it's not just sports. It's all the avenues surrounding sports, how sports affect all of our everyday lives and culture. Sports is universal language. And so we talk that language on my show. And that's really all there is to it. You can find it wherever you get wherever you get your podcast. And there's really not much more to say other than that. And find me here every Monday.
All right, guys. Link is in the bio as Kevo does join us every Monday at 8:30 East Coast time. So just last night I had some technical difficulty on my end. So Kev, the floor is yours. What would you like to talk about tonight?
Well, honestly, yesterday we were going to get into a really good conversation about all of the injuries. And like all the craziness and Von Miller trade and all that stuff. And, then I guess your technical difficulties took that away from us. So because we didn't get a chance to get into the Von Miller, right? I don't remember what we were talking about. I was telling a story about something, but I was reading. So it's interesting how these things work because like I was watching a video and like Von Miller was like in tears or whatever, like talking about the trade. And I'm really confused as to like what happened because it seems like everybody knew it was coming and it seems like it's a mutual thing, but like he's upset. Like, am I reading that wrong? Like, I guess I understand the whole, like I've been here my whole career, blah, blah, blah. But like what, I just feel like I'm missing something because it just like, and then it was for what, like 2 second-day picks? Like it, it's kind of a
second and third round pick.
Yeah. That's pretty.
But see that I think the tears and the emotional, I think that comes from. It's kind of like when you're young and you're in a relationship and you're about to break up with someone, and then it happens, and then all of a sudden you're just like you're emotional when it happens, and you're just like,
right,
damn, what the hell? And I think that's just what it is. What's the relationship to it? So all these girls that you bring back to your house, what happens is you actually sustain a friendship and you get together and you're like sometimes you live with each other and you see each other more than until you seal the deal. You see them past that.
And then you get
I know you don't know what
divorced
that's
3 or
like,
4
Corey.
times, and then
only two.
I
But
was
no,
talking
I
about
think that's
I
what
was,
it is.
I
think
was
it's
actually
the
talking
emotion.
about emotions.
Yeah, I think it's oh my bad, Tori. I just took it
I
to
mean,
yeah. No, I think that's where the emotions are coming from, Kev. I just think it's
Yeah.
finally hitting home. Hey, I'm actually leaving the place that I've been my entire career. It's hard and it's tough, and he's gonna do well. I mean, he's gonna do well wherever he goes. Who did he get traded to? I didn't even see
Rams.
the Rams,
Oh,
the
the
Rams.
Rams.
So yeah, the thing is this is his boys. Like he's been around most of these guys, for their entire career. There's gonna be, feelings and mixed feelings. Like, yeah, everybody expected it. Heck, I mean, it goes back to last year that Von Miller was even potentially going to get traded in the offseason. And there was speculation whether or not he was going to be able to even return to the Broncos, and he did. But he knew that this was probably going to be it. But it's the same thing with like a player that gets injured, and we'll take Peyton Manning. He knew he was done in Indianapolis, but he was going to continue to play. It was probably emotional for him to walk away from that.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, the big thing is those relationships that you have built with those other guys on the team.
Yeah.
That's what's going to tear at your heartstrings right there.
I mean, it's not like he's a coach and he's crying, saying, "Hey, my guys
Right.
are trying."
Jeez.
Yeah,
Jazz at Lions all the time.
I don't. You guys already talked about the Lions. I don't want to waste our time talking about the Lions. I will say this though. I was literally just reading a story. So I don't know if we've talked about Ben Simmons, or like if you guys have talked about that with me.
We haven't talked about it yet tonight.
And I feel like I might be dying on an island with this one, but I personally feel like just about everybody on earth is a little bit hard on Ben Simmons. They're being a little bit hard on him.
What?
Yeah. Now, hear me out. So
Finding a soft spot, Kev?
Well, all right. So I had mentioned to Buck last night before we got disconnected that Mike Evans is my favorite football player.
That's
just
why we
as
got.
a player.
That's why we got cut off.
Maybe that's why we got
No,
cut
I'm
off.
kidding.
Well, Ben Simmons, he's like in my top 5. And so like
don't
last
say
season so every year I pick one team that like I want to like watch closely. This year I'm choosing the Bulls because like I gotta watch. Last year I chose Philly because I was trying to figure out like, okay, Doc Rivers, new coach, are they actually going to be coached or are they just going to kind of do what they want to do? And I was watching their offense and like Doc Rivers is not known for his players getting along. Things blew up in Boston, things blew up in LA. Players don't like each other, right? And now it looks like things are blowing up in Philly. I watched them play. And of course, everybody wants to talk about Ben Simmons' free throws. Everybody wants to ignore Embiid's 8 turnovers. If Embiid was LeBron, the 8 turnovers would have led the story. But because it was Embiid, and at the end of the day, the game was tied, and Embiid had the ball at the top of the key, and he turned the ball over. Right? Like this is the kind of stuff. First of all, the plays are run for Embiid to get the ball ISO at the top of the key. Like that was the set. There's so many other problems other than my point guard is not making his free throws, which after game like 2, it was clear that mentally he was out of it. Like he would he was already in his head. He was done already. No adjustment whatsoever. So then you come after the game. Everybody's emotional. I get it, but the coach is supposed to be the adult in the room. So you come out after the game and they say, "Do you think you can win with Ben Simmons?" Why is your answer anything other than yes? Whether you believe it or not, you're supposed to be the adult. You're supposed to not make the emotional decisions. You're supposed to just say the right thing. So your answer is yes. Whether you believe it or not, your answer is supposed to be yes. It was not.
No, it's
Then
not.
it was clear. It's different when it's like, hey, we see James Harden's available. Maybe we should go, see if we can trade Ben Simmons. But it's different when like it's clear that like you're like, hey, we're just willing to trade to anybody now. What's up? Like if your job, I don't know where you guys work, but if your job was public about, hey, we don't really want you to come, you're kind of coming because we can't. We're kind of tied to you for 4 years, but if we had the choice, we would have you somewhere else. Would you want to come to work every day? Honestly, any of you guys, if your job said, hey, Holmes, hey, Buck, hey, Tori, you know, or not even to you. Hey guys, everybody, come get this man.
Well, I work in the IT world, and that happens all the freaking time because they make us train our replacements because they know they can get that overseas stuff cheaper. So, I mean, like, if I'm in a contract to come to work, I have to provide for my family. I want to bite the bullet. It's going to suck. I might half-ass it a little bit, but we'll be honest, you cannot burn that bridge because you are still working for that next opportunity. You're still working for the next contract. So Ben Simmons is 100% head case right now. You said what is wrong with Ben Simmons? Number one, he's from Australia. They do not like any confrontation down there at all. How many wars has Australia been a part of? I'll wait. 0?
World War II.
Well,
they were actually a pretty big part in World War II.
Well, whatever. They ran away from everything. They are scared of controversy. Number 2, he went to LSU. LSU isn't even a basketball school. I mean, why are you going to go to LSU?
O'Neal?
They had one player. Come on, man.
It's like a family connection or something.
Whatever. Either way, LSU is complete trash. Roll Tide, right, guys? I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. And then number 3, here is what really lies with Ben Simmons. It is not the fact that they don't want him in Philly. He doesn't want to be in Philly. It is the fact that he is doing nothing to fix the relationship. Like, they know that the relationship is like shattered, and he is not willing to go above and beyond and try to repair it. I mean, the team doctors have reached out to him to come talk to him about some head stuff, some anxiety, some depression, and he's like, no, I'm fine. Like, F you guys.
No, did you read the rest of the story on that?
No, I didn't.
He's working with the NBAPA. He's working with the Players Association and their doctors. He's just not working with the team doctors.
Okay.
And that's the thing. Every team, it ain't no secret that the team wants what's best for the team before they want what's best for the player. So you go work
right.
with the Players
100%.
Association
I
for what you want. On top of the fact, yeah, like I'm not saying he is 100% like no blame on him. Like the whole phone in your pocket thing at practice, like you have to do your part too. But did you see in the clips who he's practicing with? Who was on the court while he was doing the drills? Like
second and third
that was
team
the
guys.
end of the bench.
Yeah.
Like that, like he's probably unenthused because he's like, bro, like I don't need to be out here with these dudes. You got the starters on the sideline talking, laughing it up. You got him doing whatever with the second unit and the third unit. Like, get out of here. Like, are we actually doing this, or are you doing this to save face? Right? The Sixers, hey, we came out and said this. It's all these little leaks about this, that, and the third. You know who's not leaking stuff about Philly? Ben Simmons and his camp. But all it's hey, you know, we tried to talk to Ben Simmons. Like, it's funny how this little stuff just comes out because we haven't heard anything about Philly for the last few weeks. Like, bro, you told me you don't want me. Good. Guess what? Don't play me then. Don't play me, right? What's gonna happen is he's gonna say, okay, I'm good. It's been 2 weeks, and he's gonna get that little fake injury, right? That little ankle that's just like out indefinitely because they're really just trying to trade my man. Like, we're not gonna act like Philly. Like I'm sorry. I don't think that he's like not to blame for this. But I think that once it was like you got a job to do. You have a job to do. I understand. Nobody was saying, hey, James Harden, you have James Harden went and played and was what did Draymond Green say he was doing? What did he call it? He something did. I don't remember what he said. But like
he's been
James
sucking.
Harden
That's what he's been doing.
Doing nothing. It was trash. He was out there. He had a gut. He was just not playing. Didn't want to play. And it was clear. And he was just out there. And it was like, yo, we got to get this man out of here. And you know what Ben Simmons should do? What he should have done? He says, you know what? Fine, I'll come back. I'll practice hard. And when I get out, get on the court, guess what I'm about to do? Shoot. I'm just going to shoot, because that's all y'all want me to do is shoot. That's all they're going to do. Shoot, miss every shot, and get them to get him up out of there because all they want to do is cry about how he's not shooting enough because these Philly fans, like, they all they see is what they want to see. This is the worst fan base. Like, the Philly area is probably, like, the worst fan base.
You're a little biased there, though, aren't you, being a Cowboys fan?
But I'm not. That's
sports wide. Like
Phillies,
you know,
Eagles, Sixers.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about all of it.
Flyers.
Philly.
Philadelphia is
Philly is out of control. They're emotional. and they like don't really think things through. And while we look at Ben Simmons and all we want to look at is about what he isn't or what he can't do, and we just choose to ignore everything else that he can do. You trade Ben Simmons, you don't get better, right? Like unless you're getting Damian Lillard, James Harden, or one of those kinds of guys, you're not getting better when you trade him. But you can't be in win now mode, but make a trade to get worse. And that's the problem that Philly's in right now. And so they need to suck it up and say, hey man, look, we know you want out. We're trying to fix this and actually try to fix this. Like, hey, like let's get you acclimated with the guys, because at the end of the day, you being on the team but being with the third unit is not what's going to win us a championship if that's what we're seriously about. Otherwise, we'll wait till we trade you. Andre Drummond, the Cavs sat him for months, because they didn't want him to get hurt. You can sit him down. You got to pay him regardless. NBA contracts are fully guaranteed, and that's why he doesn't really have to do anything, because it doesn't matter where he gets traded. He's going to get paid.
So let me ask you this question here, because I'm a basketball passive fan. Like, I really don't start watching NBA till about playoff time when they actually start playing, right? Like, anyways, with all that being said, when you said Phillies are the word, or the Philadelphia area, the suburbs, etc., the state, they are the worst fan base in all of sports history. Did they not go through trust the process for 15 years? They've been trusting the process, and finally the process came into pollution, or whatever the word is.
What is
Pollution, fruition, or whatever, right? So when you trust the process for 15 years and you tank and win like 5 games a season, shouldn't they be salty though?
Hold on, I got to make sure my mic is working. You hear me?
It is working.
We got you.
I just want you to say that Philly fans suck.
That is Philly fans' stupid fault for cheering to be sorry. Anybody who cheers to tank, like, oh, this is what we want to do, we want to be sorry, is sorry. So I don't want to hear, oh, they had to trust the process. That's their fault. That's their fault. The fact that they was like, hey, we are okay with being trash for 5 years or 4 years, so we can maybe one day be good. That's sorry. So yes,
what's the Timberwolves' excuse for the last 15 years?
The Timberwolves are just bad. Like they're just not good. They fumbled the bag. They got these talented guys, and Wig. They had
let's hit home. What's been the Cowboys' deal for the last 26 years?
Hey, our owner is focused on being relevant, not sorry, relevant. So no matter how sorry they are, they're number one in value, and that's what Jerry Jones is good with.
They are the most socialized media team out there as well. I put hashtag Dallas Cowboys in last night's show. Boom, 1,000 views just like that. So say it what you want. Jerry Jones is doing something right in Cowboy land, and every year we are talking about them as Super Bowl caliber teams. Combs, yes or no?
No.
What?
This year we are.
Last year,
not
the year before that. Go ahead.
About them more than talk about everybody else. When they're sorry, that's the lead story. When they're good, that's the lead story. And when they're average, that's the lead story. Like the Cowboys, this is why the Cowboys pay the bills.
It's like the Lakers. It's like the Lakers in the NBA. It's like the Dodgers or the Yankees in Major League Baseball.
Exactly.
You have teams that are like that. It doesn't matter if they're good, they're bad, or they're average. They're still a lead story that's going to sell people.
Did you see the little? I think I saw a tweet or something that was like, since the Dodgers got eliminated, SportsCenter Instagram hasn't had one post about baseball. Now that the Dodgers are gone, I don't know if anybody saw that.
Probably. I mean, honestly, ESPN is the most trash sports organization out there right now. Honestly, so.
ESPN is they're struggling, and they've got a lot of talent.
Don't sugarcoat it. Say that they're trash. Join the movement.
I'm saying they're struggling because let's be honest. I go flip over to Fox Sports, and they're pretty sorry too, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
It's just getting rough all over the place. We got to get past the mainstream media. Most of like the meat that you like, the good stuff that you're gonna find is gonna be in podcast form. It's gonna be, in live stream form. Like. It's just more authentic that way.
So what you're saying is people need to tune into the Real Bottom Line with Kevo.
They need to tune into all of these things. They need to tune into Man Hour. They need to tune into the Bottom Line. They need to tune into whatever they can to actually get real stuff. Because if you keep going and watching Stephen A. Smith yelling on camera to get you talking, or Skip Bayless saying some nonsense, or whoever you don't like, Colin Cowherd or Nick Wright, or we can go all day, you're going to be upset. But the whole point is for them to make you upset so you can get on Twitter and say, look what they said, so that someone else can go watch what they said. And that's the whole game. And we're not playing that game up here. We're talking real stuff.
And this has been The Real Game. It's been real with you, Kev, as always, man. Thank you for joining us. Before we let you go, tell the people where they can find you one more time.
One last time, Twitter at @TheRealKev_0 or @TheBottom_pod. Find the podcast wherever you get your podcasts, all the platforms. I'm here every Monday. Today's Tuesday. I know it's a little bit weird, but I'm here every Monday. I appreciate you boys as always, and I'll see you next week.
Yeah, man. Hey, we need to get you fired up. So, I think next Monday, guys, we're going to dog the Dallas Cowboys all freaking show.
Oh, I'm on it.
Let's do it.
Hey,
do it.
If that's really the smoke that you guys want, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Here, I got my goggles. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, guys. We're on break. We'll catch you right back here, guys, a little bit on the Man Hour. We'll be right back.
Yeah, the guy's got hands. The guy's got really good hands, and if he develops a chemistry with you, that's going to make what's his name, Marquez Callaway. That's going to make him even more dangerous.
True. I see what you're saying, but besides the big catch and a couple okay seasons in New York, what has Odell Beckham Jr. really done for you? He is the most overrated receiver in the NFL that I've ever seen.
I don't disagree. I think he's overrated as well. But I just say, look, he's a big target. He's got hands. The guy can stay with, anybody's I just, I don't know. It's something. It's better than what we got. I mean, OBJ is better than Chris Hill, right? But the guy's got hands.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes along with Brandon Combs and Tori Anderson tonight. If you guys have missed any part of the show whatsoever, be sure to head over to youtube.com/Man Hour and check out the clips that we upload those 3 hours, or every 3 hours, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We also are on podcast form. If you want to check out podcast form, sorry, I got a text from my sister in the middle of the show here. That's kind of weird. But you guys can find us on iTunes, Spotify, of course, iHeartRadio. Yes, Tori, she is taken. Sorry, you cannot have her anymore. But guys, with that being said, this is the first time that it's been three of us for quite a while here, and we have kind of neglected probably one of the favorite games that we have on here, and it is Guess Who. So Guess Who is simply the game where we ask yes or no questions with between Tori and Combs here, and they try to guess the athlete that I am playing. It is a active player, and it is in the three major sports. That's NBA, NFL, and of course Major League Baseball, because I don't know anything about hockey players whatsoever besides Wayne Gretzky is the greatest of all time, I guess, or something. I don't know. But he's not even the greatest. All right, so guys, it is that special time, and it is time for Guess Who, and Guess Who is brought to you by Skull Candy Headphones. So link is in the description. Head over to skullcandyheadphones.com and be sure to use promo code MANHOUR to save yourself 20%. If you use the link in the description, it will automatically mark that off for you. So are you guys ready for Guess Who?
Let's do it.
Who wants to go first tonight? Who wants to go first? Who wants to
go ahead, Tori. Age before beauty.
All right.
Is it Jameis Winston?
It is not Jameis Winston. I actually crossed that one out because I was really hoping Cam Newton was going to go to New Orleans, but he doesn't look like he is now. All right, Combs.
Is it a football player?
It is a football player for number one.
And they got to be active. Is it Jared Goff?
It is not Jared Goff.
Is it Adrian Peterson?
Nope, he's not active yet.
Ooh.
Is it Justin Fields?
No, he's not active either. He sucks. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Is it...
I know who it is.
Does he play in the NFC?
No, he does not.
Is it Mike White?
It is not Mike White.
Oh.
That would have been a good one, though.
Is it Deshaun Watson?
No.
No, because he's not active.
Yes, he is.
No, he's on the PUP list, isn't he?
No,
they just didn't. No, they inactivate him for every game. Do they play in the AFC East?
No.
Is it Devon Miller?
It is not. He's actually in a NFC team now.
Devon Miller. Yeah, Von Miller. Devon.
I was like, who the hell is Devon Miller?
No, it's not Von Miller.
Let's see here. Do they play in the AFC North?
No.
Well, there goes my next guest. So they don't play in the AFC North. Is it Josh Allen?
No.
No, because I asked if the AFC East, and he said no.
Oh. Just kidding.
So, is it Carson Wentz?
No.
Is it Derrick Henry?
No. He's not active.
Is it Henry Ruggs? Because he's technically still active.
No, it's not. We already talked about Henry Ruggs, though, too. That would have been good, too.
Is it... Do they play in the AFC West?
Yes. Now we're getting somewhere.
Is it a running back?
No.
Is it Teddy Bridgewater?
No.
Dang, jeez.
Is it Patrick Mahomes?
No.
Do they play offense?
Yes.
Do they play tight end?
Yes.
Is it Noah Fant?
No.
Is it Travis Kelce?
It is Travis Kelce. Way to go, Tori Anderson. Travis Kelce. The reason
was
why
the
we're
tweet
bringing up
answer.
Travis Kelce is because on Monday night he had 4 catches for 27 yards, and he is continuing his quote down season. Also, in the trade deadline, the Kansas City Chiefs picked up a tight end from the Jets. The name is slipping my mind right
Dan
now.
Brown.
But so, guys, are the Kansas City Chiefs ready to move on from Travis Kelce maybe after this season, Tori?
Shut up, Buck. No, they're not moving on from Kelsey. You don't move on from the best. I mean, they did move on from Tony Gonzalez at the prime of his career. So,
Right.
you know, or what they perceived was the downside of his career. And then he went and played for Atlanta for like 6 years and had great years. But no, they're not moving on from Kelsey. This was more of a depth move than anything.
Combs, what about you? I mean, on Monday he had four catches for 27 yards with like 3 huge drops.
The league has caught up to the Kansas City Chiefs. And so, no, they're not moving on from Travis Kelce. They're just not doing well offensively. And that 20-17 victory over the New York Giants proved it. Because in past years, they would have just annihilated this porous New York Giants team. Instead, it was a game. It was a game all the way down to the end. The league has caught up to the Kansas City Chiefs. And if they go away from Travis Kelce, there are 31 other teams in this league that would be ecstatic.
Go ahead, Tori.
Absolutely. No.
Oh.
Yeah. Who's not going to take Travis Kelce? I mean, the
Obviously,
Packers
Kansas
just
City
lost. I mean, if they wanted to, they could have traded him to Green Bay today when Green Bay, was looking for a tight end.
True. Very, very true. So Tori is up 1-0 on the infamous game of Guess Who, sponsored by Skull Candy. Skull Candy is the magic you put in your ears. SkullCandy.com. The link is in the bio. Save yourself 20% by clicking the link. Combs, you go first.
Is it a baseball player?
It is.
Ooh.
Are they in the World Series?
They are.
Is it Jorge Soler?
No.
Is it Freddie Freeman?
No.
Is it Jock Peterson?
No.
Is it Jose Altuve?
No. I can't say that name.
I'm just trying to figure out like the baseball players that you would know.
Is it Carlos
You only know-
Correa?
It is Carlos Correa. Yay, Combs, you got a thing right here. I got a call. So the reason why I bring up Carlos Correa, not because, well, I guess it is his time. In Game 5, he went 3 for 5. Combs, is Carlos Correa the X factor in Game 6 and possibly Game 7 moving forward?
Well, he's at bat right now. The Houston Astros are down 3-0. He's leading off the bottom of the 4th. If he is the X factor, he needs to get a hit here because they need to get some base runners to come back and help win this game. I don't think he's the X factor. And matter of fact, before the game, I thought that the X factor, because I didn't know that he was starting until you guys, until I asked you before the show, because I hadn't seen it yet. But Max Fried to me is the X factor. The fact that they came with Max Fried in Game 7 to me is the X factor here. And now he's through 3 innings. He's, he's got Correa in a 2-2 count, and he just got Correa to pop up to left field. Oh, as Jock Peterson lets it drop. But he's the X factor.
So you're saying he did get the hit?
He did get the hit.
So there you go. He's an X factor.
Should have been a pop fly, but yeah, it's one of those where I don't think he's the X factor. I think it's Max Fried. I think it's the Atlanta Braves time. I think it's time to end this series tonight.
All right, Tori, you heard Combs saying it's time. Is Correa the X factor in Game 6 and possibly Game 7 if
No.
there is one?
No. The trash can. The trash can is always the X factor. For the Astros, always boom, boom, boom. I mean, you always know where it's coming from then.
Jordan Alvarez promptly grounds into a double play on the first pitch.
All right, guys. So it is a
Tori
1-1
hit
tie
450.
going into the third matchup here. So, Tori, you get the next first question here on Guess Who's brought to you by Skull Candy. Link in the bio.
Do they play in the NBA?
They do not.
Do they play in the NFL?
Yes.
Do they play in the AFC West?
Are they active?
Yes.
Do they play in the NFC East?
Yes.
That's almost a given.
Oh God. Is it Dak Prescott?
No.
Is it Cooper Rush?
It is Cooper Rush. Good job, Tori Anderson. The reason why we're bringing up Cooper Rush is because on Sunday Night Football, he obviously had the game-winning touchdown versus Minnesota, and this is the first time. This is a fact stat from Soup Boss himself. This is the first time Cooper to Cooper happened in the NFL. First name to last name. But the biggest story here is that Dak Prescott sat out that game because of his sore calf, and the Cowboys have the Atlanta Falcons, I think, moving forward next. So, Tori, do the Dallas Cowboys sit out Dak Prescott versus the Atlanta Falcons if he's not 100%?
Yeah, because you really don't need him against the Falcons. I mean, why not make sure your quarterback's 100% healthy? And another side note on top of Soup Bosses there is that the Cowboys also last year had the first time that, so it was what, first name and last name. It's the first time it's ever been Cooper to Cooper.
Yeah.
Last year was the first time with Dalton to a Dalton on the Cowboys.
Oh, interesting. Combs, do they sit Dak Prescott versus the Atlanta Falcons if he's not 100%?
If he's not 100%, yes. Because you don't need to win next week to win the NFC East. But you do need Dak Prescott to win the NFC. So, yes, if he's not 100%, you can survive another week with Cooper Rush. You might even be able to win that game with Cooper Rush. And no, there's no reason to push Dak Prescott because you need him for the long haul. So until he's 100%, until he's ready to go, Cooper Rush is your quarterback until that happens.
So is Cooper Rush the next Tony Romo, or is he the next Drew Henson?
I think he's the next Cooper Rush, who's destined to be a backup quarterback.
Cooper Rush is like Ryan Fitzpatrick. He can come in there for a couple games and give you a spell, but he is not going to lead your team. That's why he got cut from the Giants after Jason Garrett went to the Giants, right? But let me ask you guys this question. Does Dak have to be 100% to come back to the Cowboys at all this season?
Yes. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want your quarterback at 100%?
Well, yeah, but what if he never gets 100%?
If he's going to. If you let him sit, he's going to get to 100%. And Brandon made a great point. Do you really need him against the NFC East? You've already got like a 4-game lead in the division. So,
yeah, but the Cowboys are looking for a Super Bowl. So how you get a Super Bowl is you have to get that number 1 seed and all these easy games that you're going to. It
worked so well for the Packers last year.
Well,
hole in your cheese right there.
Jeez, the Packers are the Packers, though. They are habitual NFC losers.
This is true.
Right. All right, guys. So, Tori, you are the winner of the infamous game of Guess Who. Do you have any? Do you have a victory speech lined up for us?
I'd like to thank all the little people. Yeah, no, I really don't. I don't really have anything lined up for this except for San Dimas High School football rules.
All right, guys. With that being said, we are up against the next break. On the other side of the break, we're going to break it down. We are going to talk a little bit of Kansas City Chiefs and New York Giants from Monday Night Football here. And also, guys, if you guys got any questions here, let us know here at youtube.com/manhour. Be sure to jump in the chat and let us know what you want to talk about. But, guys, we'll be right back here on the Man Hour.
The guy's got hands. He does. The guy's got really good hands. And if he develops a chemistry with you, that's going to make, what's his name, Marquez Callaway. It's going to make him even more dangerous.
True. I see what you're saying, but besides the big catch and a couple okay seasons in New York, what has Odell Beckham Jr. really done for you? He is the most overrated receiver in the NFL that I've ever seen.
I don't disagree. I think he's overrated as well. But I just say, look, he's a big target. He's got hands. The guy
Yeah.
But the guy's got hands.
He does
The
have
guy's
hands.
got really good hands. And if he-
Yeah. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckhouse along with Tori Anderson and Brandon Combs tonight. If you guys have missed any part of the show whatsoever, be sure to head over to manhourradio.com. And mainly the live stream is over. We upload the podcast form on that. Or you can simply subscribe here at youtube.com/manhour and hit the bell icon as we do upload clips throughout the day over there on the show as well. So, guys, we have talked some Henry Ruggs. We've had Luke G on. We've had Kevo on with the Real Bottom Line. And we have dabbled in some other sports as well. So, actually, we have two topics that we can cover here in the last 10 minutes of the show. And since Tori Anderson is on, he's been off for what, Tori? You've been off for what, 6-7 weeks or so? It's been, I feel like you've been like a long time.
It was a month.
It was
okay. It was like almost a month, almost to the day.
Okay, so a month to this day, and guess what? Zach Wilson has only exactly one win on the season. Actually, no, he has 0 wins, right? Yeah, because Mike White got the win for the New York Jets. So that's exactly where we're going to go. We're going to go to the New York Jets for Mr. Tori Anderson. I'm going to throw you guys a curveball here. Mike White got a huge win over the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday afternoon as the Jets starting quarterback. Tori, going to kick it to you first there, big guy.
Here we go.
Are the New York Jets better without Zach Wilson at the helm?
Zach Wilson is trash. So yes, absolutely 110%. They are better with Mike White at the helm. Look at the fire he played with. Look how fired up his teammates got for him. Look at the way they rallied around him. Look at the way he hung in there. He brought them back from 11 points down with 4.5 minutes to go. You know, he made 2 amazing throws. That one that was not a touchdown. One was an amazing catch, but 2 was almost a really great throw to go with it. You know, and then he came back and still got the touchdown to Berrios. So I think that it's completely different. You didn't see this kind of enthusiasm. You did not see this kind of stuff with Zach Wilson there. Oh, wait, that's because he was throwing 4 interceptions in 5 passes.
Wow.
You know, you didn't see this type of stuff with Zach Wilson in there. Zach Wilson is exactly who I told you he was. He is not an NFL quarterback. He does not have that fire. You look at the way Mike White played in that game on Sunday. That's fire in that belly. That's a guy that's taking full advantage of his shot.
Combs, you look pretty disgusted over there. I'm not going to lie. You seem very disinterested in this conversation because you thought Zach Wilson was going to have the best NFL career, right?
Out of the quarterbacks that got drafted in the draft class, yes. And in Tori's, little boast there, the Jets have won 2 games this year. They've won against the Titans, and now they've won against the Bengals. In both of those wins, the quarterback looked pretty damn good. Not only that, you come at a team coming up against a guy like Mike White. Like it sounds like the guy who calls you from overseas about your extended warranty plan and says his name is Mike White. When you're like, yeah, right, okay, Habib. But it is like
that's profiling.
You have no, yeah, that's fine. You have no tape. You have nothing on Mike White, and he lights you up. It happens all the time in the NFL when you have a quarterback that comes in and just plays for a game because nobody knows who the hell he is and everybody else is hurt. Zach Wilson's going to be out for a little while. Game? Yes, the Zach Wilson's going to be out for a little bit, probably 2 to 3 more weeks. Mike White's going to get his opportunity, to relish in the limelight. However, he's got the Colts this weekend and then the Bills the following week, and they're going to be clamoring for Zach Wilson to get back in there. Look, Zach Wilson, you say he's trash all you want. The guy has already 1,200 yards passing. I don't know what to tell you about a guy who's only started, 5 games this year and has 1,200 yards passing. You can say he's trash. You can say he's not doing the things he wants to do. But really what you're just trying to do is just, Oh, Mike White had a good game and he got a win. All the stars align. Now I can say Zach Wilson's trash. Okay, Lamar. Okay, Lamar Jackson. This is your buck Lamar Jackson argument.
The difference is I've been saying that Zach Wilson was trash before, like
Well,
since
Buck's
he was
been
in college.
saying Lamar Jackson is trash since he got in the league. It doesn't make it true.
It is true.
Except mine is true.
Stop it.
Just in Tori's defense, Mike White is undefeated on the NFL season, unlike a lot of the other NFL teams or quarterbacks in the league as well. So,
And as I said, but like I look at the way that the team rallied around him. Look at the way his teammates treated him versus the way they treat Zach Wilson. It is completely different.
yeah, Tori, you are 100% correct. They seem to want to play for a guy like that, and
Congratulations, bro. You got Buck to agree with your take.
Well,
Like,
well,
that's
well.
right.
Like if you really sit back and look at it, look at the Kansas City Chiefs. Do players really want to play for Patrick Mahomes right now? It doesn't seem like it, and their record is showing. Do players really want to play for Trevor Lawrence right now? No, they don't, and their record is showing. So when a team
going
wants to play
forward-
for a quarterback, they play well. Have you ever seen any given Sunday?
So going forward, you think that the Jets are better off with Mike White?
This year, yeah, because Zach Wilson was not ready to play in the NFL.
But Mike White is.
Mike White is there for a placeholder for Zach Wilson to get better in the offseason, yes.
You got to remember, Brandon doesn't believe in having placeholders. Like, just
Right.
throw them in there.
I'm going back to the
Sink or
World
swim.
Series game. Braves just hit a home run. They're up 5-0 now in the fifth.
I don't know. Looking at your room, looks like you're going back to 1972.
Right.
I am going back to 1972.
So one other thing in this game here is that the facts that the Jets did beat Cincinnati, and Cincinnati had a huge win over the Baltimore Ravens the previous week, and people were kind of crowning the Cincinnati Bengals in this in the AFC North, and I believe they were first in the projected playoff rankings as well. Combs, I'm going to kick it to you first here. Did we buy into the Cincinnati Bengals too early?
No, I won't say we bought into them too early. I will say that they're not as good as they've shown. I still believe they're a just above 500 team, a 9-win team. I think they've played out of their minds for a few weeks. They've gotten up for a few big games, but let's remember that their wins this year have come against the Vikings, the Steelers, the Jaguars, the Lions, and then they did have 2 good wins against the Steelers and the Ravens on the road. But other than that, your 2 losses come against the Jets and the Bears. So
And the Packers.
huh?
They're 5-3 now. They lost to the Packers.
Oh, sorry, and the pack. Who's the Packers?
The team that's in first place. That's
But
like
anyway,
3 games ahead of you in the standings.
so the Cincinnati Bengals, they're that team. And are they going to be playoff team? Possibly. Can they win this division? Possibly. They can still be better than the Browns, and they can still be better than the Ravens at the end of the season. They've got not such a tough schedule heading down the stretch. They will have to beat the Browns twice, and they will have to beat the Chiefs and the Ravens again. But other than that, I mean, they've got teams like the Raiders, the Chargers, the 49ers, the Broncos. I mean, all winnable games. So that's just what the Chiefs are going to be. I still feel like they are a 9-8 team, and I don't think I'm going to come off that just yet.
Yeah. So what you just said here, the games that you listed for the Bengals moving forward, is you said they played the Browns twice. The Browns are a sinking ship. They can beat beat the Browns twice. They can beat the Steelers because the Steelers are going to revert back to passing the ball, and that's how they lose a lot of games. They might lose to the Ravens, but let's just put that a 50-50 split there, and they'll probably beat the Kansas City Chiefs right there. There's 5 wins. And if they're already 5-2 or 5-3 now, that's a 10-win season, and that gets you into the playoffs and probably wins the AFC North. Tori, do you think they have a shot at making the playoffs?
Yeah, they obviously have a shot. They're 5-3. You have a shot to make the playoffs. Your probabilities right now are probably about above 50% at this point in the season to make the playoffs. Yeah, absolutely, they have a chance. Though, but I'm going to say, like, last year everybody got all high and mighty on the Cardinals in Kyler Murray's second year. This is a team that's going to have some bad losses, just like the Cardinals did last year. They have to grow. They have to learn. They're going to lose games that they should win. They're going to win games that they should lose. And it's just going to be up and down. Do I think they can make the playoffs? Absolutely. I do think they can. Do I think they will? Probably not. I think they'll even off at some point. Because they will be probably maybe a 9-8 team, because they are going to win games they're not supposed to. They're going to lose games that they should have won. And it's all part of the process of becoming a winning football team. The whole learning how to pull out those games and how to play those teams and not play down to your competition's level. So, yeah, I think they have a chance. Do I think they'll do it? No, I don't.
So let's go around the horn real quick here before we head to a newest segment here that I'm going to add at the very end of each week's show. Combs, do the Cincinnati Bengals make the playoffs?
Yeah, I'll say that they're a 7 seed.
Tori, do they make the playoffs?
No.
And I'm going to go with they win the AFC North and win the playoffs. So we will.
They're going to make the Super Bowl. You're saying?
No.
You just said they'll win the playoffs.
I said they'll go to the playoffs and win the AFC North.
No, you said they'll win the AFC North and win the playoffs.
Or they'll win a game in the playoffs, yes, but they won't win the playoffs. Playoffs. Yeah, talk about playoffs. All right, guys. So this is the first time that we've all been together in quite some time here, and I've been saving this segment for a special occasion, and this special occasion is right here, right now. So what we have thousands of comments that roll through our YouTube channel each and every day. And I'm going to read off some of the comments, and you guys are going to get a opportunity to react to these playoffs. So this newest comment that just came in here, I want to iterate, this is a Tori Anderson video. This was done back in May when the Washington football team, Tori said they were going to go 13-4. Obviously, they're not going to go 13-4 this season. And Hayden on me says, why is anybody not looking at this? Is this guy smoking crack? Not even close. 13-4? You are out of your mind, man. I'm even a Washington fan. Tori, how are you going to respond to that?
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
For who is it for? You or like him?
Yeah, I no. But the thing is, at that point, their defense, by all means, I judged by the way they played last year. I thought they would have a top 3 defense in this league. That is a dominant, or should have been a very dominant unit.
Yep.
They have 2 really good running backs. They have good receivers, a good tight end. They were just missing the quarterback. Fitzpatrick got hurt. So not much you can do there. In Taylor, I started to trust. I even picked him up in fantasy. I mean, he was serviceable. I'm still 7-1. So
right.
I did cut him this week.
there you go. So this next comment, Combs, this clip kind of went a little viral on us. It was with you and Soup Boss. You guys were basically not talking about the title, but I put a very clickbaity title in there per se, and I said
that had nothing to do with the video. It's the exact opposite of the video.
Actually, no. Alpha Rob comes out and says the Cardinals are not that good, and you and Soup Boss go and basically start cutting that. There are hundreds of comments on there that I could choose from, but speaking of crack, Fred Barnes says, are these guys on crack? The Cardinals are the absolutely best team in the NFL, hands down. The magic
Green Bay.
The magic formula for the Arizona has always been get some turnovers and then cash in some points. This man Combs looked like a gremlin from Ice Age. What? What? What is a gremlin from Ice Age? So, Combs?
First of all, what's this guy's name?
It is Fred Barnes.
Okay, Fred Barnes. Okay, you sound like you belong in a freaking porno somewhere with your stepsister. But
Aren't you the guy that slapped T Barnes?
Yeah. What the did you listen to the video?
Apparently not.
This just shows that you did not watch the video and you just clicked on the title and then put a comment in. I was talking about how great I'm the one that picked the Cardinals to be 15-2 prior to the season. I'm the one who's been on the Cardinals train since before the season started. I've been a big fan of the Cardinals. I thought they were going to win the NFC West. I still think that they can win the NFC West. The injury bug is going to hurt them now, yes. But I thought that they're the best team. I didn't think they were even going to lose to the Packers, and they wouldn't have lost to the Packers if they were healthy. And if their wide receiver had remembered that they weren't trying to run the ball, but 15 seconds and no timeouts left.
You seem to forget that, like, the Packers were down to, like, their fourth receiver is their number one receiver.
Yep.
What's your point?
So, exactly.
If J.J. Watt is playing, the Cardinals destroy the Packers.
If the Packers are healthy, the Packers.
But at any rate, we're not turning this into a Packers segment. We're talking to Mr. Fred Barnes, Fred and Barney from the Flintstones, or whatever the hell his damn name is. What the hell is a gremlin from the Ice Age?
I don't know. I'm like, there's no gremlins in the Ice Age movie.
No, maybe he meant like the little werewolf thing that, or like not the werewolf, but like the little scratching that had like a
do me a favor.
football head.
Tomorrow, when you're at work,
text
your wife and ask her how Combs looks, Fred.
Right away, he's always got to go to that.
Yeah. Is this Joey 101 all over again?
Right. Exactly.
All right, so Tyler Lee comes out as and says, you had a very good point in your video, but you are 100% dead wrong. Lamar Jackson is by far the best quarterback in the NFL. He is better than Brady, Mahomes, and Aaron Rodgers all in one. You should edit the title and because this makes it seem like you are hating on Lamar, but I think you secretly love Lamar.
I think secretly you want to juggle Lamar in your mouth.
With that being said, guys, we are glazing over the obvious here. He says that Lamar Jackson is better than Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, and Aaron Rodgers all rolled into one. What?
Wait, this is your comment. This is a comment directed at you. You get to respond to this.
Well, I mean, first of all, Lamar Jackson is not even a top 32 quarterback in the league. So to say he's better than those three quarterbacks combined, you are absolutely out of your goddamn mind for that. Lamar Jackson is a very good running back, and hell, he could be a great slot receiver, maybe like a Tyreek Hill-esque type of guy. Guys, Lamar Jackson completes 40% of his passes over 15 yards. Complete garbage. You know who has a better passing percentage than him?
Mike White,
exactly. Also, the receiver for the Dallas Cowboys that threw 2 touchdowns on the game versus the Minnesota Vikings as well, all over 15 yards on a dime. It was Cedric Wilson, I believe, that threw it.
On Lamar Jackson. Stop saying he's not a quarterback. Stop saying he's not even a top 32 quarterback in this league. You sound ridiculous. However, this guy here saying he's better than Brady and Rodgers and Russell Wilson put it into one. Like, you, first of all, stop it. Take the poster off the wall, clean it off a little bit, and put it back up somewhere where you're not going to squirt all over it when you're done. He is not better than all those quarterbacks, but Buck, you need to stop too. Stop calling him a trash quarterback. The guy wins. He wins football games.
He does win football games as a running back. You are absolutely 100% correct. I agree with you. So this final comment I feel like it's kind of pointed toward all of us, but it never really says like. So this video dates back from April. Tori, I believe April was when like the first time you started coming onto the Man Hour on a regular basis, right? Like about March, April time frame here. And this video was when we were breaking down the Cincinnati Bengals schedule, or it was their draft class moving forward. And we all kind of agreed that, it was very dumb of them to not take a receiver. This comment happened literally a half hour ago. And, excuse me, this guy's name is Cincinnati Bob. So Cincinnati Bob, I'm assuming you're a Cincinnati fan. He says,
Is he a serial killer?
I don't know, but
Like Buffalo Bob.
that is kind of funny. Cincinnati Bob says, you guys are absolutely the dumbest people out there. Look what this receiver is doing for the Cincinnati Bengals right now. Why would we draft
Hindsight
a lineman
2020.
when we're 5-3? You guys are dumb.
We're dumb. We didn't wait until week 7 to find out how good this guy was before we commented.
Before, you're gonna wait. You're gonna what? April to May, May to June, July, August.
How
September,
dare?
October. How dare you? How dare you make a comment?
How the hell
6
could
months ago?
how the hell could they wait till 199 to take Tom Brady? They're the dumbest people alive.
Oh my God, stupid, just stupid. He should have been the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an asinine comment.
Fans
that,
are
like,
stupid.
Hey, Cincinnati Bob, please just delete your account because
No.
hindsight is always
I love your comments, Cincinnati Bob. Just tell me why the receiver is so good. His name's slipping my mind right
and
now.
tell me why you waited 7 months to comment.
Well, maybe he just now found the video. You never know.
Maybe he just now got internet in Ohio.
Wow. Tori, you and internet, we need to have a little talk after the show because my internet is crap. And no, I'm kidding. All right, guys, so that is going to be it for tonight, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow at youtube.com/Man Hour, 8 p.m. East Coast time. Combs, send us out, big guy.
Man Hour Nation, rise up.